at least 54, and as rescue and recovery efforts continue, we're getting a clearer picture of the massive devastation. It now appears the New York City Borough of Staten Island may have suffered the single greatest loss of life. At least 14 people were killed there, and several are still missing. Our own Kate Bolduan is working this part of the story for us. Kate, let me walk over to you. Tell us what you're learning, because it's devastating.
Devastating. I mean, you just heard that 14 people, at least 14 people dead in Staten Island, and we're seeing some very devastating images coming out of Staten Island as well. Take a look at this. This is video from the NYPD showing an aerial rescue of people trapped in their flooded out homes there. 5 adults, 1 child rescued. Amazing video still coming into us. I was able to actually catch up with the Staten Island Borough President, Jim Molinaro, as he was surveying more of the damage this afternoon.
Can you describe the scene for us? I know you're out going to tour some of the devastated areas. What is the scene?
When I describe the screen, it's like a tsunami hit us, and this is the aftermath. It's something that it's tough to describe. It's just horrible. Houses that have collapsed. The water came in at one point. There was a surf coming at 13.5 feet that crashed into the coastal line. There's dozens and dozens of homes just destroyed beyond repair. And the public beach, where $60–70 million was put into in the last 10 years, is completely gone.
And what's the situation in terms of power and electricity?
Well, that's in power. There's 114,000 customers out of electric, out of 164,000 total for the whole borough. So it's 2/3 of the people in Staten Island have none.
What are you telling residents at this point? I mean, because clearly it's near impossible to get off of Staten Island, right?
Well, you got to realize that for 3 days you couldn't get off Staten Island, no matter what you did, because the simple reason that the bridges were closed, the ferries were closed, so you were landlocked, and that has created a tremendous shortage of gasoline. So there's lines 2 and 3 blocks long, but no gasoline available. Most of our traffic lights are out because of the lack of electricity to that. And I'm looking at a line now which is approximately 3, 4, maybe 5 blocks long, waiting for gasoline.
My understanding is you've lived on Staten Island a very long time. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Never. Not only I, but there are people that were victims of this storm that have been living here 75 years, believe it or not, their families before them. They say this could be a 100-year storm. I think this is a 300-year storm. I mean, it's just something beyond anybody's belief.
I know you've never seen anything like this before, but how long do you think it's going to take to clean all of this up and start rebuilding for residents in the borough?
I'd say before you could even put some time into this, where you get back to normal, where you were before. So it'll take at least a month and a half. And to bring it back to where it was, it's going to cost you billions of dollars. Not millions, but billions of dollars. This is the worst tragedy that ever happened to Staten Island, number one. And it's the worst tragedy that happened to the city of New York since 9/11.
Do you expect, from what you see, the death toll to rise even higher in Staten Island and in New York?
It definitely will be higher. There's no question. Hopefully not. But I think that by the amount of homes that have collapsed, I think it's only inevitable that we're going to get some additional deaths.
Yeah, that's Jim Molinaro, the Staten Island Borough President. I mean, you heard right there, Wolf. He says it's the worst tragedy to ever hit Staten Island. He said, right now, I asked, what are your basic most needs? He said, well, number one, they need to get power on, of course. They're in desperate need of blood donations, he said. He said they have 6 shelters. All of them, he said, they're packed full. One of the shelters even called him last night and said that they were out of food. Yeah. So it's a tough situation.
Yeah, and he says the death toll is going to rise, too. Unfortunately, we're watching this.